They keep their head down and they pretend like you're not there.
Well, someday I'll experience 40.
So thank you. Yeah, someday, one day soon, you'll experience 40.
It's in my rear view.
Hey, welcome. It's Thursday, May 10th, 2018.
Yes.
Yeah. It never gets less exciting finding out what day it is when you hold up that card.
You would think that as responsible adults or semi-responsible adults, we would know what day of the week it is. But just to be sure, not screw it up for you at home, we read the cue card.
Well, here's the thing. I've read 5 newspapers already.
Right, so
why don't I know the date? Why didn't that
You know all
sink
the
in?
day's news.
Right. I know how many hot dogs it takes to put us in hot dog jeopardy, you know, by the 4th of July when there's that hot dog shortage. But I don't know the day of the week.
Yeah. Well, because it's in small print. We can barely see it.
I guess you're right. You're right. You're right.
I'm super, super excited for the morning. I have to tell you, I'm just going to warn you.
Warn me.
Beware.
What's happening?
Well, not only did I get up at 4:45 and go do this new workout, I had a full cup of coffee. So you better watch yourself.
Okay, I'm so irritated.
I know you are. Because it's done for the day.
Oh, I'm so irritated because I got up at 4 because the man that delivers the newspaper, and yes, I figured out who it was. You know how I told you guys at 4 a.m.
There's a sound.
There's a sound,
There's
sound of music blaring that is so bass heavy that it rattles us awake.
Yeah.
I figured out who it is, the newspaper delivery guy. I watched him. I watched him out the window. And I did the only sensible thing that you know, the Italian girl from New Jersey knew what to do. I put on my robe and I opened the window and I went, hey!
Turn down your Drake.
People are trying to sleep!
People don't care, by the way, if people are trying to sleep in the city.
They don't care.
They
You're
do
right.
not
You're
care
right.
at all.
But I forgot. Like when I lived in Soho, I knew that people didn't care. So I had those soundproof windows.
Oh.
Uptown, you can listen to the daffodils grow. It's quiet. Quiet uptown. People don't like to be shaken from their sleep. But
You live on the one street.
I live on the one street where the newspaper delivery guy comes down with his music blaring.
Where there's a hip-hop concert at 4:45.
No, it was at 4 a.m. So I was at 4 a.m. I got up and started my day, and I deliberated. I was like, do I go to the gym?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I should text Ryan and see what he's doing. I was this close to texting you to see what you were up to. But then I was like, no, I'm going to force myself to stay in this bed and stare at the clock, which is what I did.
It might have been a wise decision, unless you wanted to have your workout out of the way for the whole day and not have to worry about it lingering. But you're lucky I didn't get arrested, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because I tried a new workout this morning.
What's it called?
Well, it doesn't require a gym. I was in the middle of the street. I'm lucky I didn't get killed as well. I'm in the middle of the street.
Wait, is this you?
This is us in the middle of the street this morning with this thing called a sled on asphalt.
Oh, yeah.
And on the streets of downtown, I'm supposed to go up and down the street with that thing, back and forth, back and forth. It almost, A, the cops were looking at me and I was worried.
Right.
B, I almost died on the return. That's why we didn't show the video.
See, that was a white van, so we all know that was a kidnapper because the white van is where the kidnappers
That was the white van with no windows. It was,
or it could be a delivery truck, Gelman. I don't know.
Or surveillance.
Right.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
Or they're watching CIA. Ryan. Right. It could be the CIA.
But you've got to come down and try this with me.
I will. I wish if I had known, I would have come down. I was this close, because what I did last night, okay, Riverdale was on last night, and it was a really good episode. Okay, so listen to this, Riverdale fans. So Cole Sprouse, who plays Jughead, was over, and I'm dropping...
At your house.
At my house.
Yeah, drop the names.
I'm going to drop names right now. Cole Sprouse, who plays Jughead, and Casey Cott, who plays Kevin Keller, was there, and my husband, who plays Hiram Lodge, which is much less exciting to me than the other two, because I guess I'm used to him after all these years. So there was a particularly grisly episode that was, you know, making me very nervous, and I was having my hair return to its natural shade of bright blonde, and I had the hair dye on my head, and I was eating your fancy peanut butter with a spoon out of the jar because it's my peanut butter, and I'm going to eat it with a spoon.
So far, it sounds like the perfect night.
It was the perfect night. Except that my daughter started harassing me about the sound my mouth makes when I eat peanut butter.
Are you a smacker?
I didn't think I was because I'm very susceptible to that.
You're a
I don't,
smacker.
When other people chew, it makes me enraged.
When you hear the sound of them.
But the sound of my own chewing
You don't even hear
sounds
it.
like choirs of angels.
Right. It's like body odor. You don't smell your own, right?
Right,
like
you don't smell
when I
your own.
stink, I don't smell me.
Right. So you never stink, by
I
the
do
way.
stink
You have
right
no
now.
body.
Right now I'm
no
sweating.
body
I'm
odor.
soaking wet right now. Sweating.
But I was eating the fancy peanut butter with the honey in it. Ugh.
Well, now
You're
you're
right.
frustrating me. That sounds really good.
So I'm eating it, and Lola's like, the way you eat peanut butter makes me so angry. and then Cole was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah.
Whose side are you on, Cole?
Right, but Cole was saying that when he was a kid, it used to drive him crazy when his dad would eat cereal. So he would eat it, he would try to like
cover an ear?
eat covering his ear that was near his dad.
Because he was slurping the cereal?
I think it's all fair. I think everybody has this problem in their family.
Well, we may not hear how we sound, just like we don't really smell how we smell. But what I think is brilliant is how your daughter speaks with what we call trailers. Her sentences just trail off.
They do.
They start emphatic,
yes.
and then they just sort of, they just vanish.
She does that with you a lot, right? She's like, well, I didn't see it, so whatever.
And then I say, I think my hearing's going, which I think it is, anyway, because I can't hear in a restaurant, which is another story. But yeah, she speaks in trailers.
She does. I'm so glad that has a name.
It has a name. Yeah, it's like when you start emphatic and then it's just sort of airy at the end.
Yeah, I'm always like, what was that?
What'd you say? What's that about?
I'm sorry,
what?
I'm sorry, what?
About me, what? I do what?
She's like, well, maybe you should have your hearing checked.
In restaurants, maybe it's New York restaurants, because they are loud.
There's a restaurant in particular that shall remain nameless because the food is so good, but it is so loud.
Why can't you name it?
Because I want to go back there. But it is so loud. It's so loud that it's almost as if you are eating underneath airplanes taking off.
Right, on the tarmac.
And it's a tiny restaurant. But it's somehow acoustically so cockamamie that I sit next to Mark. Like, we will sit next to each other in the
still barely hear each other.
And we are screaming in each other's faces.
Yeah. Well, there are only 2 friends that I want to go to that restaurant with, because I really don't want to talk to those friends.
Right.
And you know who they are.
Yeah.
And I say friends loosely.
Right.
So today I wanted to wish Connie Seacrest, my mother, a happy birthday. It is today Mother's Day weekend.
That's so nice.
What? She's in LA, so she's in Los Angeles, so she's not watching right now.
Wait, is she at your house?
She's at my home. She got
she's
there.
in Shangri-La.
She's at the house, and here's what she does when she gets to the house. She likes to walk around the house, and she specifically hones in on the bathroom.
Yeah.
And she always decides that I'm going to slip and crack my head open when I get out of the shower.
Because it's too...
Because I don't have the right thing when you get out of the shower. I have a towel. She wants a rug. It's like a shaggy rug when I get out of the shower so I don't fall down.
Plus you have that fine stone,
it's just slippery. I don't know what it is.
That marble from a column. Yeah.
From a column?
Yeah, the column. It was carved out of a slate slab. There was a slab somewhere in Italy, and artisans came, and they were like,
Julius Caesar's old slab.
This shall be Seacrest's slab.
Yes. I put a wreath around my head when I get out of the shower. I wrap myself in a toga, and I get my coffee.
Right.
Well, she takes that slab, and she puts a Bed Bath & Beyond rug right over it every time she comes to town.
She brings her own rug?
No, she goes to Bed Bath & Beyond on Pico.
She gets a new one? And you keep throwing it
And I keep going, Mom, I don't want a burgundy, shaggy rug. Well, you're going to slip and hurt your head. So should we try?
You're going to call her?
It's 6:10.
Oh, it's so early.
For her.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. Well, she doesn't know how to FaceTime, Gelman, so I'll try.
We're going to FaceTime?
It may not be successful.
You call FaceTime, she'll just hear it and pick up.
I only FaceTime my parents once. And I had an
disaster?
entire discussion with them, and I knew the camera was facing in the wrong direction. And I kept saying, you can see me? And they're like, yeah, we can see you. No, they couldn't.
Show to Kelly in there, too. So, yeah.
No.
There you go.
Well, no.
Yeah, okay.
No, but you get in it, too.
Hello.
Hi, Mom. Good morning.
Happy birthday.
Oh, my goodness. Is this true? Are you really FaceTiming with me?
Yes.
On TV.
Isn't this
on TV.
fascinating technology?
Wait, she can't see you, Ryan.
Wait.
She can't
Oh,
see.
hey, isn't this fascinating technology?
Well, it's not. I'm not up to speed with this, honey.
All right. Well, we just wanted to call and say happy birthday, and I love you, and...
And we all love you.
This is the best way to start the day.
Where's Dad?
Well, do you know where your mother is?
Where-
Yes, you're in my home.
Yes. Yes. And do you know what time it is out here?
I know.
We already covered that.
It's before the sun rises. I told her that soon you're going to Bed Bath & Beyond to get me new rugs for the shower.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's my duty. I do anything for you, Ryan and Kelly.
Oh, thank you. Hey, Ma, I have a little surprise for you.
What?
Oh, you know what's going through her head?
Hey,
A lot of things have to do with real adulthood.
Okay.
I would not tell you that
no,
on
but
the
tell
air,
her,
Mother.
tell her, tell her.
Ryan John.
what?
Ryan John. Ryan John.
Yes?
Ryan
Yeah.
John. Oh, Ryan John. She just said Ryan John.
Yes. All right.
This is serious.
All right. Constance Zillinger, go to the door. Go to the front door.
The front door of the villa?
Yes. The front door of where you are right now.
Well, honey.
What?
What?
It's a surprise. It's a birthday surprise.
What is it?
Well,
How do I show you?
I can't wait to see what we got you.
ju-
Oh my God, do I walk outside?
well, show Kelly what we got
Yeah,
you
turn
from
around.
both of us.
Can you see it?
Oh,
Go down.
Go down. Pan down.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday.
Thank you guys.
You're welcome. I hope you like the color.
Well, that's my favorite. You should know that.
All right. I love you, and I'll see you soon.
Love you, Connie. Happy birthday.
Bye, Mom. Goodbye.
By the way, my arm is about to fall off from working out this morning. I can't hold the phone any longer.
Can we give it up to Connie Seacrest, who looks amazing for
I tell
being
you.
woken up FaceTiming?
He is a trooper.
Robe on. I'm not going to lie, when she screamed, I was like, what is it?
I know, but I signed the card from both of us.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Don't worry.
Thank you. No, I was like, hurry up, I want to see what we got you.
She is a lot of fun, and on Friday night, tomorrow night, she'll have a Cosmopolitan. That's a Cosmo.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
when we should FaceTime you guys.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
And she sends it back if it comes too dark.
Yeah, she likes it more boozy.
She likes it boozy. She goes, could it be a little fainter in color?
Yeah. They used to have that martini bar at the Four Seasons Hotel in Midtown in Manhattan. Remember on like 57th Street or 56th Street? And they had a martini bar there, and you could smoke cigars. Not that I smoke cigars, but my husband would smoke cigars there, and we were dating at the time, and we would have martinis. And we saw Oprah there once. Yeah, I said Oprah. We saw Oprah with Gail having martinis in the corner, and we were like, there's Oprah and Gail. I don't think it's a story detailed.
What do we do?
I just thought it was like, but they would make them the perfect shade.
The perfect way.
Yes, the Cosmo was the perfect shade.
That reminds me, so when my parents would come to town a few years ago, before we had their quarters set up there perfectly for my mother.
You mean the villa?
Yeah.
I heard her say,
little bedroom.
you want me to go outside of the villa? I was like, yes, show us the villa.
So before then, they were in a hotel not so close to my house at the time, and I was driving home from work at 3:30 in the afternoon, and I see two people walking on the sidewalk. And you know, you never see two people walking on the sidewalk in LA.
No, only if their car has broken down.
Right.
Right.
So I start to hone in, I put my window down, and it looks vaguely like my parents. Well, turns out it is. And I look closer, and my dad is in a pair of like rubber band waisted pants, khaki, and a maroon pullover windbreaker. And I look even closer, and he's got a brown bag. And I pull up and I say, Mom, Dad? And they, as if they were caught.
Right.
I said, what are you guys doing? He said, we just went to the store. I said, well, what's in the bag? He said, well, you know, those little vodkas are expensive in the room. So we got ourselves a family-size version. I caught my parents at 3:30 in the afternoon walking down Doheny with a brown bag of Belvedere vodka because they didn't want to pay for the vodka at the hotel to make the perfect Cosmopolitan.
What?
That's how they make a faint Cosmo. Do it yourself.
That's very conscientious of them.
That's how you get the right faint or fade.
And you know what? That's devotion, isn't it? It's devotion. It's like, I want to walk down Doheny, she says. Is that near Disneyland?
Everything's near Anaheim.
My only knowledge of California is Disneyland.
Yeah.
So
those flowers are right out in front of
Disneyland?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, is that near Main Street?
That was near the castle.
So, no, but that's devotion.
That's how you get it the right color.
And that means they're going to have it in time for cocktail hour.
Oh, but 3:30 in the afternoon is a good start.
Yeah.
I call that a runway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the perfect time.
All right.
Is that it?
Anything else?
I mean,
Gelman's all,
But-
he's
Bialik.
squeezing his
come on, yes.
glutes.
I don't know.
His glutes are tight. When his glutes get tight, I know we
Why
gotta
are
move.
your glutes so tight, Gelman?
Tension.
Tension.
Tension
Yeah.
from what? What are you tense about?
From two hosts.
We need to go on because
Yeah, but
we're
we
gonna
are
run out of
like
time.
two angelic hosts.
Oh, of course you are.
Just enjoying our time together.
I'm enjoying.
Gelman.
Let's
Always
enjoy
here.
Mayim Bialik. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
we'll
So-
enjoy Maya.
Okay.
Mayim Bialik is coming up in just a few minutes here.
She's a scientist.
She's
People
become a
don't.
scientist.
She's a scientist, okay? And then
And
was
she's
like,
on Big Bang.
okay, I'm a scientist and I'll go back to acting. Fascinating.
Right.
Fascinating. And Ben Falcone is here
Oh,
also.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ben, I stopped by to say hello to Ben in the dressing room, and he said these words, "Bear with me, I just got off a red eye, I might be a little crazy." I said,
Welcome to
Perfect.
my world. That's you. That's you.
it. That's it. It's
Yeah.
time for Dance Party Travel Trivia. Alexander Martinez from South Lake Tahoe, California. Good morning.
You know what? I gotta tell you, I like a wide stance.
Thank
I
you.
really do. I'm all about the wide stance. Never go dancing in a skirt, ladies. You cannot get your legs wide enough.
I'm trying to get you. And also always
me.
make sure you know where the opening
Yeah.
is in the can.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna call Sharon from Springfield, Massachusetts right now.
Sting.
You have it rigged, don't you? 2 holes. It's like a double.
Two
It's like a
holes,
double-headed
yeah.
coin.
It hits you every time.
Every time.
Every time.
That's what he did. All right.
Hi, this is Sharon. I can't get to the phone.
No,
It's not
That's-
our fault.
that's a letdown. We'll call Steven from Cortland, Ohio right now.
O-H. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, it was obvious. We just said Ohio. Of course,
I
that's
know,
the
but,
rest of it.
but nobody ever responds to that. And I was told that people from Ohio always respond to that.
Are you from Ohio? No. Okay.
We're from Pennsylvania.
Steven, what's everybody doing?
They're working like us.
All right, so Steven not going to get that amazing trip to somewhere with clean, clear water.
So what happens now?
Well, you know, we have a fallback plan.
I know, Kelvin, I'm just saying it's at panic you.
Yeah,
I don't know what happens. I've never done this before. Hey, even though nobody answered the phone, we're still gonna give away a great prize to one of you in the audience.
So get your tickets. Get your tickets out. Mix it up, Ripa.
$500 appliance package from Cuisinart. Let's
Okay.
see, Ryan.
Call it out. Visualize it. Put it into the universe. All right, it is number 92. Where's 92? Thank you. We'll be right back with Mayim Bialik. Stay with us. On tomorrow's show, Kim Kardashian West will be
Very
here.
excited. Also joined by her mom, Kris Jenner.
And we will celebrate Mother's Day with a lesson in Mommy and Me yoga featuring some of our staff moms and our staff babies.
That's so cute. I can't wait. I love it. I love it.
She started out as a child star in the movie Beaches and then in the 90s sitcom Blossom, and now we all love her in the hit series The Big Bang Theory. Please welcome Mayim Bialik.
Your dress and shoes are giving me life right now.
Good, thank you.
Life.
We chose them special because you always dress so nice, and I said I need a special shoe to be on this. So there you go.
We were just laughing because I'm totally out of clothes backstage, so I'm now in a t-shirt. So there.
Well, you look adorable.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You first made your appearance on this show.
1989.
Yeah, that's right. We have a clip of you walking out.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, you're so cute. I mean, you've been adorable your entire life.
Well, I don't know about that, but thank you.
You really have.
How old were you there, would you say?
That was when Beaches came out. I was 13.
So
Wow.
13 years old, walking out, doing a talk show like this and living that kind of life, was it easy for you?
No, I mean, I was pretty recently in the industry, so it all felt kind of crazy. Like, I'm the grandchild of immigrants, so being on, you know, like
Right.
a show, Tap Dancing with Regis, that was not
Right.
my...
It's so funny because it seemed, for me, from my perspective, just watching, seemed so seamless for you. Like you were destined to do this.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that, but no, it was an interesting road. I was considered a late bloomer for the industry, like to start at 11 as opposed to 2, which is when most child actors start.
Right, right.
But I was almost in junior high. I had like a normal, crazy life already.
Right.
So yeah, I was kind of a late bloomer, and then Beaches happened and Blossom, and then, you know, here we are, and I'm 42. So.
But
you know.
after Beaches and Blossom, you really focused on your education then.
I actually left the industry. Blossom ended when I was 19, and I took a total of 12 years off.
And
Yeah.
you became like a scientist.
Yes, I did.
Which, by the way, I love so much because science needs women, as you know.
Yeah.
And so that gives me such encouragement.
Thank you. Yeah, I went to UCLA, and I did my undergraduate there and my graduate degree. I had 2 kids. I spent many hours of my life listening to your voice before I even knew what you
is
looked
that right?
like.
Oh,
I
how
grew up in
funny.
LA. You were like the voice of those years of my life.
Wait, what did you
That's
think
funny.
he looked like in your mind?
So here's the story. Here's the story. Like, I grew up, you know, listening to the radio. I listened to radio when it was on AM, like when you
Right.
could listen to
Right.
rock like in the
Right.
80s.
Yes, right.
So I assumed, no insults to people who are on the radio, that like those are people who have great voices.
Right.
And
Right.
the first time it's a true story. The first time I saw a picture of you, I was, forgive me, like in the Ralph supermarket, I was looking through a magazine, gonna check out, and it was like you were voted sexiest, and I was like, oh my God, that's what he looks like? That's amazing.
That's funny.
It's like, there was no internet. I would have tweeted, like, OMG, look what he looks like.
was before you could Google.
Instead, I just told everyone who listened to the radio, have you seen what he looks like in person? It's amazing. Anyway, true story.
Well, thank you. Those were the days.
I just want you to know you added at least 5 to 8 years to his life.
Yeah, that'll get me through my
Really
workout
did.
today.
Yeah.
But you went to UCLA.
I did.
And so at UCLA, I did my favorite place in the world. There's always a line outside the door. There is the greatest cookie.
Dee Reese.
Dee Reese.
Dee Reese.
And there's always a line.
There's a line. There's still a line.
Did you go there?
Yeah.
Famous.
I mean, I'm vegan now, but when I wasn't,
You
you
were
would get
eating
these
them.
famous ice cream sandwiches. The cookies were enormous, and you would
And
get...
they'd make fresh ice cream sandwich.
And
they
then the
still do.
cookies were warm, and it was, yeah,
And
it
so
was the best thing.
Melty and delicious.
Yes. Oh, it was...
It's what gets you to be a scientist at UCLA.
Right. It's so funny. I wonder, do the students have like a special line? Is there a line for students
no.
versus people?
No.
It's
who are-
Westwood. It's kind of all
Yeah.
students.
Yeah.
Right,
Like,
right.
yeah.
But there is an alley. There is an alley door.
Yes, there
But they
is.
changed the manager since I was there last. And
Would
so
you sneak in through the back
I
for a
wouldn't
Dee
sneak.
Reese?
I wouldn't sneak, but I made friendly with the manager.
He was voted one of the sexiest DJs
Yeah, I don't know if
on
you
the
heard.
radio, but so he-
We'll be right back after the break. Stay with us. The Big Bang Theory there.
Tonight is the weather.
This is it. Tonight is the season finale.
I mean, this is so weird. you probably hear this a lot, but I'm really excited for your TV wedding.
It's very exciting. It's an exciting thing.
There's some guest stars I heard that are going to be
We have
on.
a lot of guest stars.
Which ones are coming on?
Well, we have, kind of our regular family of guest stars that we normally have, Will Wheaton and Kevin Sussman, but Kathy Bates and Teller play Amy's parents.
Oh my God.
And Jerry O'Connell is on as Sheldon's brother.
Nice.
And
He's our brother here.
yes,
too.
and Mark Hamill, which this is no spoiler, Mark
wow.
Hamill is officiating the wedding as Mark Hamill on the finale.
I mean,
yeah, it's pretty
that's
crazy.
incredible. That's
It's really
next
incredible
level stuff.
That's
are
like
you because you're all such good actors, we assume that you are all Trekkie and Star Wars geeks.
no, that would be just me.
Just you.
Yep.
Too.
The others not so much.
Not so much. No, I'm the only scientist, and I'm the only person who spends time in the comic book set when there's a comic book
Are
set.
you the only best-selling author as well?
Hey now, let's not keep listing things that make me different.
Let's just keep this category alive.
By the way, where was your book on raising boys when I was raising my boys?
I'm
Not
sorry.
that I stopped raising them.
I did my best. My boys are 9.5 and 12.5, and the book is, geared for kind of 10 to 18 or anyone who's parenting a boy or was a boy.
Yes, I was a boy. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Boys are. There's a. If you go to a bookstore, parenting bookstore, which there's 12,000 shelves for girls,
Right.
and then boys there's Raising Cain and The Trouble with Boys.
Right.
So it's nice that there will be a third book on the shelf.
Yeah, right. Finally, some depth.
Thank God.
So it's called Boying Up. It's available at that store and everywhere
Yes.
books are sold. The Big Bang Theory season finale is tonight,
So excited.
8 o'clock on CBS.
Will you come see us more often?
Yes, I would love
Ben Falcone is here.
He's a super talented actor, writer, and director, and the brains behind hit comedies such as The Boss and Tammy. Please welcome back to the show, Ben Falcone.
How you doing?
You look wide awake. You look great from that red eye.
Wide awake.
Ben,
awake.
are you Benjamin Buttoning? You seem like you look 10 years younger than the last time you were here.
Well, I don't know. Thank you. That's so nice of you to say.
do,
You guys
yeah.
both look fantastic. Little quick story. I complimented this young man on his pants.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know. I think they make me look a little bit like a clown. And what he didn't know is that because I was seated, I was wearing a very similar pair of pants.
Well, thank God you changed.
Yes.
So last time you were here, I think you were talking about taking a much-needed vacation for summer,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Did you guys do it?
We did.
Where did you go?
We went to Rome, and then Greece, and then Zurich. So we spent a month. But we hadn't been on a vacation in so long, which I was reminded of. We had this really nice tour guide in Rome who was taking me around the old ancient ruins, and I somehow got with him for a while the kids were with Melissa and everything, and I told him that we hadn't been on vacation in 8-9 years, and he literally took me by the shoulder and he said, "You Americans do it all wrong."
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
He's a wise man.
He was wise. It was
But
very.
they take the month of August off,
Yeah.
right?
Everyone's gone. It's like, don't.
It's all closed down.
Yeah,
You can't-
don't
you can't-
come.
Where
We
did
got
you go when
nothing.
you were growing up? Where did you go as a kid for vacation?
We went to Ocean City, New Jersey.
Oh my gosh! Tri-town.
It is a dry town.
Tri-town.
It's a dry town.
It's
It's
a
a dry town.
You got to
You're
get
cheering for that?
You got to go to Circle Liquors before you
Yes.
go into town.
You bring your own?
Yeah. Oh, your parents would
my
have loved
parents would
it.
fit
Oh
right
my
in.
God! We were like, I'm like 10 years old, and I'm like, whoa, this is just one of the stops we make for groceries.
Right.
Groceries.
The grocery store.
And there would be like 3, carts full of white wine.
My dad would get like the Ernest and Julio Gallo jug.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
You
that-
know, with the handle.
With the handle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the handle. A white, a red, and a rosé. So all the bases were covered. And then he would toss 7 beef jerkies in the back. And I was like, groceries.
Yep, me too. We had the same groceries.
That was gastronomy.
We were-
Gastronomy?
we
Is that
were-
what it is?
Yeah,
gastronomy.
gastronomy. We were probably neighbors and didn't know.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really did love that place. It was really fun.
Have you taken the kids there?
No, I haven't done it yet,
So
but I keep
fun.
promising.
I took my kids there. It's really fun.
How
It's-
old are
it lives
your
up.
kids?
11 and 8.
Oh,
so yeah, they're wonderful ages. The only issue I have with them is slime. Do you guys know about
Yeah.
slime?
Yes.
You
Yes.
guys know
make
about
it
slime?
and play with
they
it?
want to. It's like they make it with, it's like harsh detergents. Like, Daddy, I
Borax.
made some slime with borax.
Yeah.
Oh, Daddy, my hands are all red. I'm
Right.
like, yeah, your hands are all red. It's slime. I tried to outlaw it from the house.
Do they
and, was
sell it?
overruled.
Do they have their own company yet? Because a lot of these kids now,
Instead of lemonade, they're selling slime?
they sell slime. They sell slime. They make a lot of money. And the problem is you can't wash anything in the house because there's no borax. You
Right.
can't get your sheets
Exactly.
white anymore. It's
Exactly.
always gone.
Yeah, no, mine wanted to have a sale, and that's the one thing that I've managed to win. The one argument.
No side
Right,
hustle
right.
for slime?
No side hustle for slime. What about squishies? Can we sell squishies?
Yeah, I know. It's amazing that.
Like, oh my
yeah,
Lord.
I'm like, it's really interesting. Like
Yeah.
they have this entrepreneurial
Yes.
streak. All these kids with the slime.
And then they say, well, we want to split the profits for charity.
yeah, but that sounds like a racket, doesn't
It sounds a little bit like a hustle.
And then they have a GoFundMe page.
Yeah.
And all.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Coming up, we'll find out the most memorable scene Ben directed with his wife, Melissa McCarthy, after the break.
It's the movie that needed to happen at the right time.
It's a really sweet, movie. Melissa's so nice. It's about a mother and a daughter, and I think it's always a good time for that story, and it's just lovely for me to actually put it out in the world.
I'm taking my daughter to see this movie because we are currently looking at colleges.
Oh my
Are you
God.
going to go back to school with her?
Well, I keep saying, I was like, where are the parents' dorms? And she's like, stop it, that's not funny.
That's what Melissa said when I came up with the idea. Well, I mean, I didn't come up with the whole idea. She had all the funny parts of hers. But I said, oh, wouldn't that be interesting if, you went back to school with the girls? And she goes, oh, I love that. And they would love it, right? And I'm like, no,
No,
that's
they
the
would not.
conflict.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
That's what. So you say you come up with this. Where do you come up with these ideas for movies?
Well, this one was Melissa's mom, Sandy, was at our house, and she's just the best lady in the world, and
Yeah.
she's the sweetest. And she was wearing, I think, kind of a fun Midwestern sort of sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And she was fussing around with Melissa, and I literally just thought, wow, what would happen if Sandy in her 40s had gone to college with Melissa in her 20s?
So great.
And that was it. And I was like,
It's so great.
I told
How
Melissa,
do you
she goes,
feel
"Great."
about Kelly and Lola as the sequel?
Oh my gosh.
That? It sounds like you're going to do it in real life.
Shoots itself. Shoots itself. I'll just let my cell phone camera
It's a
film
doc.
the whole thing, and
I know,
I'll send
right?
it to you.
So she, your wife, Melissa, whom is so very talented, she has a provocative scene, would you say, with a 20-something-year-old guy?
Like maybe a love scene.
Yes, there is a love scene in this film. It may have been her idea.
Jury's still out on
The
that.
jury's still out. And I did...
How do you direct that?
Well, it was, first of all, through a quirk of the scheduling, it was that scene where she had to make out with this lovely young guy named Luke Benward, a really nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
That scene where she made out with him took place on our 10th anniversary.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's nice.
It was nice.
Yes.
Karma at work.
Yes, 10 is the beefcake anniversary.
Yeah. That's when you get
Yeah.
your spouse a Luke?
You do. You get your
You
spouse
get them a Luke.
Okay.
And yeah, so I literally had to, my job as a director is to make sure the scene is working right. And what was making the scene work right was when she was a little more aggressive with him. So I had to be like, hey, grab his butt.
Did you say that? Did you yell out, like, pretend it's me?
No, that would have actually been a good thing. I was just sort of kind of in a petrified stare.
His butt was very tight during that scene.
And then he was just like, I'm so sorry, happy anniversary.
So great.
Do your daughters, do they come on set?
They do, and they find it the most boring place on the planet.
No, really?
Yeah, really. I mean, Debbie Ryan is in the movie, and she was Jessie
Right.
on that show. So they knew all about Debbie Ryan. That was a really big day.
Yeah.
And Christina Aguilera was
Yeah.
there. That's a big
Those
day.
are-
But when it's
right.
just me and Mom, they're like, is there candy somewhere around here?
Yeah. Are they funny?
They're really funny.
Yeah, I would think like that's a genetic thing,
It's
a condition.
You know, it's a condition. It's the condition we pass down to them, perhaps.
Oh, that's a good condition.
Yeah, they're really funny and they're really sweet kids. So it's a blessing for sure.
Do you remember the first movies that you were on? Do you remember like when?
Yeah, I mean, I believe the first movie I ever did was I had a pretty huge part, which was one line in Garfield 2: A Tale of Two Kitties.
Oh, yeah.
Was that live action?
It was live action, so I mean, and I don't know anything about anything, and I'm literally like, well, where's the cat? The cat was not there.
You don't get to see the cat until later.
The cat was a
They
computer.
put it in later.
Yeah, so I just was like, and I just did my line and was sort of terrified.
That was a big movie in our house.
I mean,
my kids are at that age where that was on a loop.
Yeah.
When that came out on Blu-ray, or it wasn't even, they didn't even have Blu-ray, but
Right.
it was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Tale
What
of
was
Two
your
Kitties.
What was your line?
My line was, I was taking a picture and somebody thought that it was of them, and I said, excuse me, I'm trying to take a picture of the cat. And I think I really nailed it. And it's funny because my kids watch it and they don't recognize me because I don't have a beard.
Right.
They're
So
they're
funny.
anti-no beard.
They're
Anti-no
beard.
beard. Seems like a
They're
double negative to
anti-clean.
me.
Yeah, I'm saying
So
it in
they
a
like you with
confusing way.
facial hair.
They like facial hair. That's a better way to say it.
Right,
Thank you.
right.
But they'll actually watch you without facial hair because they know it's not you, or they think it's not you.
Right. So
Right.
they're just like, well,
what's
what's
that
your
guy?
part, Daddy? I'm
Right.
like, you just saw it. I don't think so.
That's really.
I think last time you were here, you were telling us about strange noises that your dad makes.
My dad does make
Right?
strange noises.
Any new noises that America should know about?
Yeah, sure. There's a new one because he was just in my house, and his new noise that he said was "buka buka." So my dad, when no one is around, will make a noise, I should explain, just to sort of prove that he's alive.
Right.
And one that he always says is, "Oh, baby," right?
Yeah.
No matter what. And then this time he says "buka buka," which I think is maybe short for Buca de Beppo, but I'm not sure.
It sounds like an
Oh, I
Italian
like it.
restaurant. Life of the Party in theaters tomorrow. Ben Falcone.